Hello everyone. As you guys have watched the video on ISO 14020S, now let's continue to part 3, which is about the benefits of eco-labeling. In this part we will explain why we need ISO standards for eco-labeling, who develops ISO standards for eco-labeling, who are benefiting from ISO standards for eco-labeling, and what benefits will it bring to the industry. Before we move to what are the benefits of ISO standards for environmental labels, we need to know why do we need ISO standards for environmental labels. Environmental labels provide information about a product or service in terms of its overall environmental benefits, such as the recyclability of its packaging, or the absence of noxious ingredients. At a time when more and more consumers are motivated to purchase environmentally benign products, this information can positively influence consumer choices, creating a win-win situation for all. However, the increasing proliferation of such labeling has led to concerns of greenwashing and exaggerated marketing claims. What is needed, therefore, are internationally agreed and harmonized criteria and methods of labeling to provide a credible and level playing field. Next, did you guys know who develops ISO standards for environmental labels? ISO standards are developed by groups of experts within technical committees, TCs. TCs are made up of representatives and international experts from industry, non-governmental organizations, governments and other stakeholders who are put forward by ISO and its members from all over the world. Each TC deals with a different subject or specialist area. ISO standards play a fundamental role for some parties. Let's take a look at who is benefiting from ISO standards for environmental labels. There are 4 parties that will receive the benefits. The first one is an industry where ISO standards for environmental labels help businesses create their own environmental labeling that effectively and accurately describes their products in a way that instills loyalty and trust in their customers. The second one is consumers. They will get the benefit when businesses use ISO standards to provide clear and accurate information that can be easily compared with other products and services. The next one is regulators. Regulators can rely on ISO standards as a solid base on which to create public policy that meets international commitments to help them establish and measure criteria for environmentally related incentive schemes. ISO standards also help regulators address the many challenges that climate change brings. Last but not least, the governments where they received benefits in a reduction of environmental pollution due to a product and services. There are many reasons why an industry should take a strategic approach to improving its environmental performance. Users of the standard have reported that ISO standards for environmental labels helps demonstrate compliance with current and future statutory and regulatory requirements, increase leadership involvement and engagement of employees, improve company reputation and the confidence of stakeholders through strategic communication, achieve strategic business aims by incorporating environmental issues into business management, provide a competitive and financial advantage through improved efficiencies and reduced costs, encourage better environmental performance of suppliers by integrating them into the organization's business systems. Organizations using ISO standards for environmental labels have found success across a range of areas, including reduced energy and water consumption, a more systematic approach to legal compliance, and an improved overall environmental performance. Examples of success with ISO standards for environmental labels are shown as below. Firstly, is Premier Foods. Premier Foods enhancing relationships with stakeholders and staff. Since 2001, they have used ISO standards for environmental label to make big improvements such as increasing their organization's recycling rate. They have now been at zero landfill since March 2013 and are recycling and reusing 100% of their site wastes. They have continued to improve their relationship with neighbors because they have the processes in place to respond quickly to any concerns. Among other benefits, their processes and the appointment of Green Matters champions ensure that staff are environmentally engaged and aware of the site's potential impact on the environment. Next is Upcon Corporation. Upcon provides services to lift up sunken concrete floors using its unique Upcon method. Achieving certification to ISO standard for environmental label in 2008 allowed them to document effectively the details of their method for all staff to share and standardize the quality of work at every site. In addition to boosting their competitiveness through more accurate quality control, ISO standard for environmental label also strengthens their confidence in their method by demonstrating that it produces 90% less CO2 emissions when compared to concrete replacement. What's more, since their certification, staff engagement and motivation have increased, safe in the knowledge that they are contributing positively to the environment through their products and services. That is all for part 3. Thank you everyone for listening. Now, before we continue to part 4, let's have some quiz session. Quiz part 3. Document effectively the details of their method for all staff to share and standardize the quality of work at every site. Which company gets this benefit from ISO standard for Ecolabel? A. Premier Foods. B. Upcon Corporation. And the answer is B. Upcon Corporation. Next, do self-declared environmental claims are under ISO 14021 environmental labels and declarations? A. True. B. False. Do you guys want to know the answer? Let's watch the final part, which is about what is environmental labeling and declaration.